Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is the 2007 Mini Cooper that I just picked up, talking about doing a couple of how-to videos on. The first one today is going to be the rear window regulator. It's just a base model convertible, not the S-type, naturally aspirated 1.6 liter, but everything as far as the body is pretty close to the same. So this is how I bought it. This is the regulator that came out of it. As you can see, it's got a pretty nicely snapped cable on it. Everything else is pretty good intact. The glass is fine. It's a pretty expensive repair, about $200 to $300 from what I've found. But I went down to my local salvage yard, actually did a bunch of calling around first, and finally found this for about $100, $106, and it's in really good shape. So hopefully this works out, and I'll show you guys how to save some money on labor and put this in yourself. So unfortunately I won't be able to show you guys how it came out because I took it out a couple of days ago before I thought about making these videos. But when you see it go back in, it should make pretty good sense as to how it came out. You can do this a couple of different ways, but what I'm going to do is move the glass assembly from my old regulator over to my new regulator by pulling these out. These are what hold the glass in place with a couple of Allen keys, and then this plastic piece here, which is held in by a Torx bit. So we'll just go ahead and pull that out. Whole glass assembly is out, so we'll just go ahead and transfer it right over to the new one. Make sure you align it the right way and don't over tighten the glass. My convertible top's down all weird because that doesn't work. That's another story in itself. So I just manually lashed it and threw it back so I could get to the rear window. But once you got the rear window down, or sorry, got the convertible top down, you're gonna have this plastic panel that's gonna be sitting up here. It's got one screw in the back of it. It's really holding it in. I took the back seat out just to make some room. I don't know if that's necessary. But once you get that screw out, this plastic panel just pops up with a good bit of force, and then it pulls back. Once you got the plastic panel back, you'll find this metal retainer over the top, and you're just gonna unscrew that. It's got 1, 2, and I believe 3, yep, right there, screws in it, 4 screws in it, and it just pulls right off like that. I just threw it down. Now the window is down in this track. It's held in by 3 bolts, 3 nuts actually. There's going to be one on this side on the top, one on this side on the top, and one that's down. You got to get it from inside the car, from inside the plastic. It's going to have a little bit of this green tape on it. Might be hard to see. That's so when you put your impact gun or your socket or whatever on it, it doesn't fall out or fall out of your tool as you're pulling it back through the car. Once you've got all those screws undone, that's it. It just lifts straight up through this hole. It takes a little bit of manipulation. Because my cable was broke, it was easier for me to slide the window to whatever position I needed it, but eventually it pulled up and through this space right here. So the old one's going to go back in the exact same way. I know it might be a little bit hard to see, but I plugged the motor in, and I ran the window up to about halfway up the track. It's going to make it easier to get in because this bolt right here is hanging out the back, and that's permanently attached. So you got to kind of slide that through, and then this assembly's got to go through after it. just like that. You got to line up your holes now, so that way you can get the nuts and bolts on. But it looks like that's going to be it, right about there. So it's definitely just worth noting, and I realized it now, that these two top bolts and the bottom nut can actually be in place before the frame gets dropped down there, because everything kind of just falls into a track, falls into a little slot front and back. And that way you don't have to worry about losing this stuff as you go. Let's see if I can get a better angle for you guys. So there's the back one here, and then this is the front one right here that I'm talking about, and you can see it kind of, there we go, that's a better angle, kind of just drops into that track. There's the front one. There's the back one. So once you got this black tray back in, I rolled the window down to do it. 1, 2, 3 bolts. I'm just going to go ahead and pull the plastic cover back over. I don't remember where the motor wire ran up through, but I just put it back in a place where I knew that the convertible top wouldn't mess with it, and the window going up and down wouldn't mess with it. And it seems to be fine there. Running it up behind the weather stripping. Here, just clicks back into place. That's it. That's all there really is to it. Let's give it a shot. Awesome. So there you go, guys. If you're having a problem with your Mini Cooper's rear window not working, it's an easy replacement for the regulator. That took me maybe an hour in and out, $100 in parts and no labor cost. I had a feeling it was the regulator because when I pressed the button, I could hear the motor in there cycling or trying to go up and down. So that means to me the switch is good, the motor is probably good. So the next thing to do is to pull it out, check the regulator, and obviously we found that everything inside of it was just mangled. So give it a shot. I think the point of these videos is just to help you guys out with understanding these cars aren't too expensive to fix if you put a little bit of time and effort into it. Thanks guys, thanks for watching.